right, thank you all for being here today. I appreciate you being here. I'm Lindy Wetzel, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome you. We are here today to memorialize, to honor, and remember those teachers who have been killed in the line of duty. And I will give the program to Carol Strickland, and she will continue. So once again, thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much for being here on a hot day. We will not keep you out in the hot sun, but we're here to honor some very, very special educators. And I just want to give a little bit of a historical background and then have a very special guest come up and tell you about what it was like to break ground for this back in 2013. So basically, the impetus for this memorial that you see today was the Newtown, Connecticut shooting that happened in December of 2012. It shook America when 20 babies were killed by a gunman along with 6 educators trying to protect them. And our inductees gave an outcry of what can we do? We need to remember them. And as we were trying to develop something, the very next month, Chuck Holland, a bus driver in Midland City, Alabama, was gunned down by someone who wanted to take the elementary school children off the bus as hostages. And he said, "You'll have to kill me if you're going to harm any of these kids." And that's what happened, unfortunately. So we lost 7 educators inside of 1 month. And this outcry that we were hearing just said, we need to memorialize them. We need to remember them. We need to tell their stories so they're not forgotten. And we had no idea what we were talking about if we built a memorial to fallen educators, those individuals who worked with children on a day-to-day basis and lost their lives while they were doing what they loved doing, working with America's school children. And so we started doing research, and with the help of NEA and AFT and people all over the country, donations started coming in, research was done, and we came up with our initial 113 names. And it dates back to 1764 with a headmaster who was killed along with his students by an Indian uprising in Pennsylvania. And then we were brought to the realization that we needed to do something solid. We wanted to have something, so we thought, well, we'll have a book and a bench, and we'll put it out here right by the tree, and it'll be really pretty. And so in 2013, in June, on a very warm day like this, we had the class of 2013 break ground for this, and I don't think any of us there that day had an idea of what it would grow into. So Daryl Johnson from that class is here today. He had a golden shovel in his hand 3 years ago, and I want him to reflect a little bit on where we were then and then what his reaction is now. So Daryl, please come and join us.
Thank you very much. First, to Carol and the Hall of Fame and your staff and Emporia State University and the city of Emporia. This place is like the North Pole for teachers. You know, it's an amazing place to come. So thank you for being here. Yes, honored. 2013 was an amazing year, and congratulations to the new inductees. Welcome to the ride. One of the things that was the fruition of that was this memorial. I remember standing out here on the bare hill and the shovel, among others, and thinking deeply about my career and more than that, my colleagues. And the profession that, emotional, the profession I chose, we're so vulnerable, we're very vulnerable. And every time we walk in that classroom, we give 100% no matter what. We don't think about things like violence, at least we didn't used to. So I am just delighted to be back with the family and to be allowed to participate and help out the Hall of Fame and Emporia State University and their activities. And seeing these names, I met Chris McCullough's mother in 2007. Amazing experience. This woman told me stories, and I read a book she wrote about her daughter. So I'm just delighted to be here, proud, humbled, sad, but also inspired. So thank you.
I want to ask Ken Weaver to come forward. He is the Dean of our Teachers College here at Emporia State University. He's been very instrumental in helping us with this, and he has some exciting news to announce today, and I'm going to give him the floor for a few minutes, let him talk a little bit about what is here now and what's going to be here in the future.
In September, this past September of 2015, a tragedy happened in Mississippi that touched a lot of people all over the nation. an Emporia State University alum, Ethan Schmidt, someone who had received his undergraduate and master's degree here at Emporia State, went on to the University of Kansas to get his doctorate in history, was a history professor at Delta State University, and a colleague, no, a former student, came in and shot him in his office. And the whole nation was stunned about this brazen act of violence in a place we hold like we hold our public schools. Someplace that's where ideas matter and where violence does not occur in a college or university setting. That was the catalyst for the Board of Trustees for the National Teachers Hall of Fame to have serious conversation at our annual retreat that next month, last October, about adding to our memorial tablets that would have on them etched the names of college and university educators who had given their lives in their duty. And the board unanimously voted that this needed to be done. And so we are on a quest, a fundraising quest for about $100,000, a quest to add to this memorial probably 2 more tablets that will have the names of those university and college educators who have been killed in the line of duty, and also a quest to find names. So far, I don't believe we found any organization or any agency that keeps a list or any kind of accounting for those higher ed personnel who have been killed in the line of duty. And so the research to find those names is an ongoing challenge, but we will continue to persevere, and we look forward next year or maybe in 2 years to be able to wonderful annual rededication where we have our new inductees come and play such a central role in that rededication ceremony, to have 2 more tablets where we recognize the university and college counterparts of these wonderful educators we recognize and remember today. Thank you.
When we were thinking about constructing a memorial, as I said, we were thinking small, and then Emporia State University got involved, the Kansas Board of Regents got involved, John Mallon from Evergreen Design got involved, and it just grew. And so what began as the idea of a book and a bench became this. And people from all over the country have donated $300,000 to build what you see today. It is a permanent tribute to these educators who lost their lives, who sacrificed their all. Currently, Jerry Moran is backing legislation in the Senate to have this named as a national memorial. And we're really hoping that next year at this time we can announce that that has been approved. It is still in committee. We haven't been able to get it out yet, but if you want to write to somebody, tell them we want Senate Bill 2061 out on the floor, because we have the support once it gets there. We just have to get it out of committee. And that brings attention to Emporia State, to the National Teachers Hall of Fame, but most importantly, to the names of these people who have sacrificed their lives for their profession. And so we are indebted to Emporia State, to the city of Emporia, to all the people who have supported us. And you will see on the patio names of individuals who have helped us build this, on the benches, on our donors memorial wall. People like George Lucas, for example, in Hollywood, California, is a part of what we've done because he believed in what we're doing. So we're going to do that same thing when we put the 1 or 2 books for higher ed over here, because we're all educators. It doesn't matter if we're pre-K or we're graduate school, we're all in the field of education. And this is the tribute to these individuals who literally wanted to share their lives. And today, when we rededicate, we will do this every year, and this was our vow, so that we can involve our induction class for that year, and they will know the significance of what this particular place is. I love it when Ken says that this is hallowed ground. This is a very somber place. It's one of those bittersweet moments. You hate that these things happen, and you hate that you have to talk about people who lost their lives. but we're so fortunate that we have a place that memorializes them. And Emporia and Emporia State have helped us do that, and we are so grateful. And President Garrett, I know you've joined us recently, but if you would like to say something, as the new president of Emporia State, you kind of inherited us, but we appreciate your support.
Thank you, Carol. It is truly an honor every year to have the opportunity to dedicate this area again, because in doing so we remember the lives of those who meant so much to so many school children from around the nation, and it is a tremendous honor to be able to remember them in this way every single year. We are excited about the possibility of seeking national monument status, because I think this is an area that deserves that, because we really touch lives across the country in memorializing those who have given their lives in serving others through the profession of teaching. Thank you all for coming today.
Those of you who were here last year, the name stopped here. And I think back to the dedication ceremony in 2014. Ruth Ann Buck from the U.S. Department of Education put her hand here and said, let's not add any more names after 2013. And sadly, we do have 4 more names that we've added. The 2 this year are Anne Marie Dansicker from Providence, Rhode Island, who was killed in December of last year. She had stayed late working with special ed kids and grading papers, and was walking to the parking lot and was hit by a student in a hit-and-run accident. Just, one of those quirks of fate that had she not stayed or had she left later, might not have happened. So we paid tribute to her. And then also Susan Jordan, who probably got more press than Anne Marie did. She was a principal at an elementary school in Indianapolis, Indiana. And the day that this happened, we got 5 emails from people saying, did you hear about this happening? This is a name for your memorial. And it was just a reaching out of, it helps us to memorialize her because of who she was. Very beloved principal. And suddenly a bus lurched forward, hit the curb, jumped the curb, and she pushed children out of the way and saved 2 children from death, but she was trapped by the bus herself. That's what educators do. We do that without even thinking, and it's never written in a contract. We don't know we're going to do that, but that's instinctive with educators. And so it's very meaningful today that we lay a rose for each of these individuals. So Sherry Schwartz, representing Kansas NEA, if you would come forward and lay the rose for Anne Marie Dansicker, I'm sorry. Thank you. And Teresa Davidson from our board, if you would lay the rose for Susan Jordan. Thank you. And now I want to introduce our class of 2016. They're going to be a part of the placing of the wreath along with our board members who are here today. First of all, Kimberly Bearden from Atlanta, Georgia. Deborah Hurst from Austin, Texas. June Tyson from Harper Woods, Michigan. Wade Whitehead, Roanoke, Virginia. And Jennifer Williams, Nampa, Idaho. And if our board members, President Garrett, Keith Geiger, Mark Andrews, Tess Mehring, Teresa Davidson, Noel Candelaria, Janine McKenna, who am I missing? Mark McInerney, Ken Weaver, and Lindy Wetzel. Thank you.